We are really excited to be here today because this is one of my favorite topics, is how does someone become the ideal borrower? What is an ideal borrower? How do you become an ideal borrower? We're going to run through this concept, which pertains to us as well as all other lenders that are out there, as to how to be an efficient, ideal borrower, and what does that look like as far as a borrower goes. We're going to get started, and if you have any questions, this is an interactive session. Please use the chat to ask your questions. It will be engaging, and we want to hear from you. If you're looking to follow me on Instagram, I'm available at hardmoneyscott.com, not .com, at hardmoneyscott. And if you're looking for our website, it's thehardmoneyco.com. As I said, we're doing a free webinar series. I just do this brief introduction before we get started at all of our webinar series, which allows us to basically give back to our investors. When I started in real estate 20 years ago, we did not have a webinar series. And so, one second. We did not have a webinar series that would allow for anyone to learn and get free tools to be successful in real estate. So today is really that opportunity for us to continue to give back. These are free webinar series. We don't have any books to sell you. We don't have any series to sell you. This is just free content. If you or friends are interested in revisiting any of it, it's all available on our YouTube channel for our previous as well as our going forward webinars. We've already discussed all of these already. All of these are available on our on our YouTube channel. They're available for you to watch. We've had some really good discussions last week. We had a last webinar. We had a really good interaction with a bunch of great investors, and so thank you for being here. Denver, do we have the chat up so we can see who's interacting with us? So just by a show of hands, where we are today, how many people are currently investing in real estate? Just give a thumbs up or thumbs down if you're currently own or are an investor. If you could also let us know, are you wholesaling, are you burst strategizing, or are you fix and flipping? Kind of just throw in there just so we can get a little frame of reference of who you are. Love to hear a little bit about your background. So feel free to use that chat as a mechanism for us to obviously engage with you. So we got a bunch of real estate investors in there. Anyone wholesaling?
No, one wholesaler.
One wholesaler, couple burrs? Oh, good. Yep. Awesome. Love it. Well, welcome and thanks for being here. We're going to have a great session today. So a little bit about the Hard Money Co. We fund your dreams, your deals, your repairs, your rentals, your flips. We're a transparent hard money lender. We are really good at lending short-term capital for the purpose of acquisition and stabilization. We are short-term. But being a good borrower to us as well as to your end lender is also very critical in the entire process. And I found this out, really the hard way, but it's one of my really important things was really creating relationships with all of my lenders. I'm proud to say today that all of my lenders still are my lenders, right? And how do you say that after 20 years? Is that you've never burned a bridge, you've never missed a payment, you've never been a bad borrower, you've never been on the naughty list. And so that is really about the relationship that happens with us as a short-term lender as well as a long-term lender. So where did I start from? In 2003, I started at zero. How many people are starting at zero today? How many people have nothing? They don't have a piece of real estate. They just want to be an investor. How many zeros do we have? How many Scotts in 2003 do we have? Got a couple? All right, so we got a couple that are starting with zero real estate, zero assets, $0. That was me in August of 2003. I had zeros. I had zeros, zeros, zeros. I had a lot of these, right? A lot of zeros, but what I had was this. I wanted to make money. I wanted to hustle. I wanted to build my cash flow. I wanted to be successful. And I knew that real estate was my place. How many people think real estate is their place for their future, for cash flow and building generational wealth? Me. Anyone else? All right. You're 100% right. You can start at zero today. Even if you have 1 or 5, you can scale and grow this business methodically and with great discipline over the next decade. I said 10 years, and you can be a multimillionaire in real estate. There's no other business out there There's no other profession out there that allows you to do that other than real estate. That's why you're all here. That's why we all are real estate investors, right? Because we all want to be multimillionaires, right? We all want to be multimillionaires, and we all understand one principle, that it is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, we're going to do this methodically. We're going to be disciplined. And if you can do it methodically and you can be disciplined, you will be, not you can be, you will be a multimillionaire. Anyone say yes to that? Me, yes to that. Okay, multimillionaire in real estate. So let's talk about it. Path to wealth. I decided to give real estate 100% of everything I had. I did that in 2003. I realized that there was a vessel called OPM, other people's money, right? Whether it's a hard money lender, grandma, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, who cares, OPM. But I realized that we wanted to have a better marketplace for a lending solution, and that's where the Hard Money Co. came from, right? I wanted to provide other investors with a vessel to be able to be multimillionaires. You can do it. You can be a multimillionaire in a short period of time with OPM and real estate. It works. So how do you become the ideal borrower, right? How many people are currently borrowing money from somebody? Okay, do you think you're the ideal borrower today? How to make funding your deals fast and easy. How many people think they are ideal? Let's dig in, okay? Let's actually see what ideal is. We at the Hard Money Co. right now have a tremendous amount of ideal borrowers. And we also have the exact opposite, okay? So we know the good and the bad, but let's talk about it. What is the benefit of being the best possible borrower? Well, let's go over it. It's very simple. Faster deal closures, right? Which gives you efficiency, cutting corners of the documents, which makes it so much easier for you to execute on, and every necessary detail will be required eventually. Addressing them early saves time. Who knows today? Who knows today when you submit a loan application, whether it's with the Hard Money Co. or Tri-City National Bank or BMO Bank, who knows what they're going to ask for? Do you? You know what they ask for. How many people are updating their information on a monthly, quarterly basis so you can give the information? Because what does that do once you start communicating with your lender with the information? Oh, I suspect you're going to need my tax returns. Oh, I'm going to suspect you need a personal financial statement. Oh, I'm going to expect you want my real estate schedule. Yes, yes, yes. When you do that, you build your credibility. When you do that, you build your credibility. And that opportunity gives you better terms and better opportunities across the entire platform of real estate. When you become a professional, when you show professionalism, it's a hell of a word, by the way, professionalism, it opened doors to more opportunities. That is 100% fact. When you show you're a professional, you have the opportunity to open doors for better opportunities. Do we agree? Give me a thumbs up if anyone agrees. Okay, so let's dig in here again. So how to get on our good side, how to get on a good side of a lender, right? It all starts with what? How do we start dating? By somebody probing an application, right? I need to do something. I want to refinance my 8-unit. I want to acquire a single family home. I want to buy a duplex. The quality of your application is the foundation of the deal. We get over 350 applications a month, and 50% of them are garbage applications that require us to dig in because the borrower is what? What do we think the borrower is when we have to dig in? Anyone know what the missing word is? Or letter is? Lazy. The borrowers are simply lazy. Filling out an application is the most important fundamental part. I personally look at every single application that comes into our business. I just got an application today. My first response was, Great application, really enjoyed reading it, forwarded it on. I'm like, let's get this deal. And I've never met the person that did the application, but the application was sufficient, it was detailed, it was thorough, and it was complete. Accurate, detailed applications lead to a smoother origination process. It's just simple. Yes, we got a question. Go ahead.
It's more like an insightful comment. So, commercial lender by background, cannot agree with all this more. It's incredible how many clients approach the lending relationship in an adversarial manner versus being proactive and providing the lender with everything they need and then some.
Who is that?
That's Eric.
Eric, thank you. Great comment. I appreciate the reinforcement. Eric's a commercial lender, and Eric's simply saying he could not agree more. And we haven't even gotten through the process. So Eric, thanks for sticking around and thanks for your support. If you have any tips or wisdom along the way, you did it right, what you just did. Throw it in the chat. We'd love to share that information. So detailed application, what are you trying to do? When it says words where you can write your business plan is helpful. Attach documents to the application. It's immediately clear if a deal is quality or not based on the application. I immediately can tell you that. And it makes our process way more streamlined. I met you on the internet, application 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like you. I don't even know anything about you, but I read all of your application. I like you. My urgency to call you is high. My urgency to do business with you is high because you fundamentally have invested the time to make me like you before we even got started. So the application, complete the application is a critical first step, right? Let's review an example of what is a well-prepared application, okay? This is one of ours. Let's take a look at a well-qualified application. So bad applications. Well, we're going to get into a well-prepared and then another one. So I apologize for that. So here's a bad application. The company is Zillow. This is just Zillio, a good one. Purchase price is $65,000. Estimated repairs and the ARV is 60. Let's just start right there. This application, before I even review it, is bad. Anyone know why? What is the one thing that's radiating before anybody sees anything else? What's the problem here? Someone throw it in that chat. The business, do we get anybody?
Tia says bad ARV.
Bad ARV. Now, Tia, let's go one step further than bad ARV because I think that's a great statement and I understand what you're saying. If you're going to buy something for 65 and you're going to spend 10 on it and it's only worth 60, you're going to be into something for $75,000 that's worth $60,000. The business plan makes no sense. Right? How are you going to make that happen? This should look something like, I'm going to pay 65, I'm going to put in 10, and it's worth 130. Oh, we have a deal. Someone's doing their job, right? That's better. So think about it. We see this all of the time. This is somebody that just hasn't invested the time. Sir Zillio, Mr. Borrower Zillio, what's your business plan? To lose $15,000? Doesn't make sense. Let's go to the next stage. Available cash, $40. Savings account, and your credit score, 480. What are the problems here? Well, the biggest highlight that we look for right out of the gates are a few factors, okay, which we're going to talk about. But one of them is available cash. If you have $40 of available cash, don't submit the loan application. Go do something else. And anyone have an idea what something else is? Go find more money. Get a job. Who wrote that? Aram. Yes, go get a job. You cannot invest in real estate without money. You can do it wholesaling, we agree, but you cannot invest in real estate with no money. The get-rich-quick schemes do not work. They don't exist. There is no such thing as investing with no money. Those deals do not happen. Okay? The second thing on here is the credit score. Credit score, which is created by various different parties, is a score that presents with your past abilities to repay or establish credit. So, Let's talk through this because this is an important thing. We are an ABL, an asset-based lender. Credit is not a requirement for us. We have a minimum credit of 600, but we like to see borrowers with a minimum FICO of 660, okay? We do deals over here. We do deals there. We do deals below 600. Borrowers, low LTV, we do. But the immediate dating experience starts with, I have a 480 credit score. And the answer is, that's terrible. And the likelihood of us wanting to engage is low. So what happens? Why do people get bad credit scores? Type them in there. How many people have a great credit score? Let's go there. How many people have a 720 plus credit score? Thumbs up, okay? Congratulations. That's a great credit score. I know that you have made some tough choices in your career to help you bolster a 700 plus credit score. I know you have. You've chosen to pay a bill when you didn't have the money because you had to go do something else, or you've chosen solutions. You're a communicator. You understand the value of things. But what happens is people stick their head in the sand when a bill comes or a credit card comes or something happens. We've heard all of the stories. I've heard every story. I moved and didn't pay my credit card bill. Okay, good idea. So you moved. Your credit sucks because you moved? No, you're irresponsible because you didn't pay your credit card bill. Moving, by the way, is an irrelevant data point to you not paying your credit card bill. I bought a car I couldn't afford. Well, that's another poor decision you've made that's going to harm you in the process. We see this all of the time. Okay, I can tell you that with 100% dedication to fixing your credit score, in 30, 60, 90, 120 days, you can make a material impact to make it better. Anybody gonna work on their credit today? Somebody should. There's somebody that says, I can work on my credit today. It's a simple method of doing something. Do something today to improve your credit. Pay off a bill, reduce your credit card payment, stop buying garbage. How many people buy garbage that they don't need? USA, we've got all of us. Everyone here in the USA buys garbage they don't need. That's what we do. How did we become there? I don't know. Advertising, but buying crap we don't need. I always say, don't buy crap, buy buildings. Don't buy crap, buy buildings. Think about it. Just take that in your head. I'm gonna go buy crap, whatever that crap is in your world. I'm not. I'm gonna now buy buildings. Okay? Don't buy crap, buy buildings. Get it in your head. Okay. Here's the other thing that I see all the time. This is a big red flag for us. What is your experience level? I'm a beginner. How many people are beginners, true beginners? How many people are true beginners in the world of real estate right now? It's okay. I was a beginner in August of 2003. I wrote this. I was a beginner. We got any beginners here? Okay? You have an uphill battle. Is it solvable? 1,000%. Okay? You have an uphill battle. It is solvable 100%. Here's how you solve it. You have to communicate. You have to persuade somebody that despite me being a beginner, I have the skill set to be successful. When I went to my first loan on a refinance of an 8-family, after I acquired it, I had to encourage the bank to lend me the money. Well, sir, what's your experience? You asked a pretty good question. I don't have a good answer for you, and you should just take my word for it, Mr. Banker. Well, that gets you thrown out. Here's what I would say. Hi, I've already been successful in acquiring the property. I've already made improvements to the property. I've already generated an increase in NOI to the property. I've already cut my expenses on the property. And as a result of my actions as a beginner, I'm confident that once I'm able to refinance with your bank, I'm going to be a stabilized asset that's going to be able to make my monthly payments to you, and my debt service coverage ratio is going to be a 1.3, which is well above the 1.2 you're probably looking for, Mr. Lender. And I know that as a result of that, I'm going to be successful. Give me a chance. Wow, that's a whole different discussion than I am a beginner. Give me a chance. You just spoke their language. And the last thing we see all the time, on which we're going to dig into all of these, is none but Becky was in the Navy for 14 years. Who cares about Becky? Right? Provide details of what you are. Don't say something stupid. This might actually take you 10 minutes to create. That's okay. Spend the 10 minutes. So, how many people are buying distressed real estate today and including what we call a scope of work or need to make some improvements to the process? Everything I buy needs some improvements, right? Everything you buy probably needs some improvements too. This is the second part of the application where we see borrowers just fall on their face. This is part of the storytelling we're doing, right? We're telling a story to somebody via an application to build what? What are we trying to build? Give me a few things we're trying to build. We're trying to build, starts with a C. Then it starts with a T. We already got the T checked off, right? Trust. We got confidence. Confidence, trust, right? We're trying to build those right away. So when we're going to do a scope of work, we want to detail and document everything. Provide a detailed process. Be as detailed as you can. There's no such thing as too much detail. No lender, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, no lender is going to say you provided too much detail and I know too much about your deal, and as a result of it, you are denied. No one's going to say that. All we're going to say is, thank you. Thank you. All right. So the scope of work provides the opportunity for us to efficiently understand what you're doing to the property for improvements. It allows us to have a seamless way to do your repair draws, and it gives us a clear vision to get to what? What are we looking for right here, guys? Right? We're looking to improve what? The ARV. Everyone know what the ARV is? Anyone not know what the ARV is? Anyone unaware of the ARV? Okay, after repaired value. Right? So here's what happens all the time. We're going on a quick tangent for a minute. I'm buying something that is worth, let's just say I buy it for $500,000, and I'm telling the lender, I'm telling myself that what I'm buying is actually, what I'm buying for $500,000 is actually worth $800,000. Anyone think about this statement? I'm buying something for $500,000 that's actually worth $300,000 more. Anyone believe that? Anyone believe that this can actually happen every single day in our world? That you can buy something for $500,000 that's actually worth $800,000 every single day. Anyone believe that? I believe it. I know it. It's what I do. In addition to being a lender, I am a passionate deal junkie of real estate. I love it. And as a result of that, most end lenders, when they get to the table, they say, how is that possible? How can you buy something that's worth $300,000 more? And the answer is because we're going to do things to improve it, which ultimately allows us to do what? Once I improve it, what is the next step? What is the thing that's going to happen? I'm going to increase rents, which is going to be the driving factor behind this, the increased ARV, okay? We did a whole series on this already. I'm not going to get into it, but I want to explain that that's what we're looking for as a lender. What are you doing? Your scope of work is driving the ability for us to improve the property, to improve your income, to reduce your expenses, which gives you a higher ARV. Any questions?
Got a comment from Eric again.
Yep, what did Eric say?
I'll say about 99% of the time we don't get enough information in our client to get what we need. Those that are ready in advance to provide full files not only set themselves apart from other people, but they also get quicker and less painful approvals.
Eric, thank you for that comment. So what Eric said, for all of you that are reading Eric's comment, is validating that 99, he didn't say 100, but 99% of the time he doesn't get enough information. So 1% of the applicants, 1% of Eric's applicants are doing great. 99% of them are lazy. Facts. It's so simple. What separates me from you or me from other people, when I go to my lender and I'm looking to refinance a property, I am telling them what I want, and what I put together is a letter and a package, a request for financing package. I would like you, Mr. Lender, to consider my package, and here's what it is. I give them everything. If I've just built a building, I'm giving, and I have a tenant in it, I'm giving them everything. Okay? I'm giving them leases. I'm giving them improvements. I'm giving them construction documents. I'm giving them a package where when they get it, they say, wow, Scott is sophisticated. Scott understands what I need, and I want to do business with Scott. That's my application process. What's yours? Think about it. On that fix and flip, what are you providing to us or your OPM or whomever to say, I am sophisticated? What are you giving them? What are you providing them that's going to give them the trust and confidence in you to do what? Repay. Okay, let's talk about the document set, right? Documents. This is the most basic fundamental part of the documents, and 99% of the people, according to Eric and myself, who have tons of experience with this, are not prepared. I'm sending my articles of organization. I'm sending my IRS letter I received. I'm sending my OA or operating agreement. I am sending my certificate of good standing. I am sending a property tax bill, if relevant, to say that it's paid or unpaid. I'm doing all of that. Are you? Do you have a folder on your Google Drive or on your Dropbox or on your computer or on wherever the hell you store it that says this folder? Because here's what mine says. It says Scott's Companies, and then underneath it, it says Corp Docs. And in here are my articles of organization. What's going on there? My OA, operating agreement, my EIN, right? My certificate of good standing. All of that's in there. I just have to do one thing. Open up the folder and put it in the email. If you're a new investor, do you have your articles of organization filed? Do you have your EIN number? Do you have your operating agreement? If you do not, get prepared right now, right after this call. Go get everything set up. Your articles of organization can be filed with any state, and you can be incorporated tonight, tomorrow, today. I filed for an articles of organization yesterday morning at 7:25. At 7:35, I had a new company, number 100. Okay, that took me 3 seconds. It cost me $130. I then created an operating agreement. Easy. I have a template. Do you have a template? If you're a single member LLC, it's a simple document. It's 1 page. You don't have to have all the stuff you're going to argue with your partners about because there's no other partners, right? How many people have single member LLCs? How many people have partners and have multiple member LLCs? So here's what I do sometimes, just to help the ball roll, is I write all of my offers in a single member LLC. Single S, single OA, and that's just me. That gives me the opportunity to do all the work. I don't need 50 people right now, but I then add what language? And, or, and then what's the word I'm going to write? Someone give it to me. Someone's going to give it to me? Assigns. Who did that? Regina? Yeah. Awesome, Regina. Thank you. Yes, assigns. I'm going to assign it to another company of mine, and I have that right. That's part of the contract. That gives me the ability to do what I need to do. That's a little tip, but it also allows me to get my documents going. And then provide requested documents quickly. So we go back to conditions. When we're underwriting a loan, I issue the loan terms and it calls for conditions. I need these 5 corporate documents because you were lazy at the onset and now I need them. It should be a drop, reply, drop from the folder, and here you are, sir, and you should have those in what, 1 to 3 seconds? It takes sometimes weeks for people to provide them. Those people that are providing and taking weeks to provide are losing our confidence by the day. We have 1 loan that's been approved. We're waiting on 1 thing, bank statements. They cannot be provided by this borrower. What does that do? Provide low confidence, low trust. How many people have access to online banking in 2024? How many people can get their bank statements in 30 seconds? Me. Can you? Are you saving your statements to your computer so that when somebody asks for them, you can send them efficiently and within 2 seconds? The answer is yes, do that. Everybody wants to see verification of liquidity. That's a new thing that's happening. That's now a requirement. I want to see your money. Okay, here it is, sir. Boom. And you hit them in the face with it within 1 second of them saying, send me bank statements, reply, boom. They have them. The confidence is where? High. Okay. Once we have a submitted application, communicating after the application is a major, major confidence and trust enhancer or opposite. Okay? Things happen during this process. Underwriters call for conditions, right? What's the weirdest condition anyone's had? Someone type it in there. Eric, give me one of the craziest conditions, but someone tell me the craziest condition that we've had. There's crazy conditions, right? We're seeing them more and more and more. But slow down, understand what they're asking, and get them what they want. Any good conditions? Okay. So stay responsive. What we see, what we feel, what we understand is the borrowers that are communicative, that respond fast, are the successful borrowers. The borrowers that delay or can't provide are the ones that continue to struggle on the struggle bus throughout the entire process and furthermore to be successful. Not everyone can be successful. Do we agree with that? How many people do we have in here? 30? Let's just say we have 30. All 30 of you could be successful. How many of you are successful? How many of you want to be successful? And how many of you know what it takes to be successful? So either a 1, a 2, or a 3. All right. So 2. Okay, so people want to be successful. A lot of people are. Knowing what it takes is so simple. And I tell my kid this all the time. I got an 18-year-old kid. I tell him this. Either do the ass kicking or get kicked. Think about that for a minute. You can either do the ass kicking or you can be the one that's getting its ass kicked. Which do you want? I tell him and myself, let's do the kicking. And to do the kicking, unfortunately, in 2024 is not that difficult, because when somebody calls, you answer the phone. You beat 99% of the people. That's an easy ass kicker, right? You called, I answered. When someone sends you an email, you should respond. When someone sends you a text, you should reply promptly. Prompt communication, responsive communication is the key. Inform us of changes. We see this all the time, and here's some of the changes, right? So when I'm submitting a loan application, and guess what I just told you, right? On the previous screen, we just went over that I and or assign something. On my application, I'm getting in front of it. Mr. Lender, I, Scott, have put this under an LLC, 123 LLC. But I am going to be assigning it to 1234 LLC, and the reason is I bought it under a single member LLC, and I'm buying it with a partner under this LLC, so please plan to expect this modification. If you do that, you are going to be doing the kicking, because 99% of the people don't do it. Oh, I didn't know I needed to tell you that. We get that all the time. Sir or ma'am, what do you mean you didn't think we needed to know that? Well, why would you need to know that? Well, sir, because we're underwriting your file and we want to know who the borrowers are. Oh, I get it now. That person is getting kicked. And then let's jump into the problem solving. There's always problem solving. One of the biggest problem solving solutions, one of the biggest problems that are presenting right before closing is what? What's one of the biggest obstacles at closing right at the end? What's happening? We need what? It starts with an I. Insurance. Well, my insurance agent is on vacation today and I can't get you insurance, so guess what we can't do? We can't close. And all of everybody's hard work has to get delayed for another week because my insurance isn't there. What's the first thing that you do to stop that? Problem solve in advance. What's coming? I need what? I've done 1,000 real estate transactions. Every single time I want to have insurance. So when I'm closing on a deal on Friday, on Monday, I called my insurance agent and I explained to them what I'm doing, and I gave them all the relevant information, and I said, can you please get me insurance? And as of this morning, Wednesday, 2 days before my closing, I have insurance. I just did the kicking. 99% of the other people don't do that. Oh, you needed insurance. Yeah, we do. You know who else needs insurance? Everybody, and you every single time. Keep your project on schedule. Keep your closing on schedule. Keep your entire efficiency high. So here's a question I ask all the time. All of this, why we do all of what we do, why we're buying a property on Friday, why am I buying a property on Friday? Why am I buying a property on Friday? Someone answer that question, please. Maybe I'm crazy. Don't put that in there, though. Someone give me a better answer than why am I buying a property on Friday? You got any good ones yet?
Still waiting.
All right. Someone give me one good answer.
Kevin says to make profit.
Who said that? Kevin. I want to make... Kevin. Kevin equals money. Kevin is spot on. That's it. I have an opportunity to make money. So where am I making the money is I've already believe I made it because I have it under contract to close. What I'm waiting on is the execution of it. So if you were willing to work, how hard are you willing to work to make that what I think is going to be $100,000? I'm working my ass off right now, today, yesterday, Monday, all of the time. I'm working my ass off to make $100,000 because that's what I'm going to make. How hard are you working to make 100 grand? How hard? Tell me. Would you work your ass off to make $100,000 right now? Because the answer by everybody in this chat, I want to see everybody say yes, 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 yes. Everybody should want to work their ass off right now to make $100,000. We had a question?
Not a question, but a comment from Shalonda.
Yep.
She said your answer, or the answer to that question was plan out the week ahead during the weekend.
Yeah, so use the weekend, right? Weekends are not for partying and drinking and being stupid. Weekends are for planning and planning and planning. Finding your next deal. Figuring out how you can get better. Awesome statement. Who was that? Shalonda. You're a genius. Shalanda's a genius. I just want to tell you, Shalonda just ripped a burr of all burrs and is getting $20,000 back. We're going to talk to Shalonda in a webinar coming up, but Shalonda, I've known Shalonda for way too long, not way too long in a bad way. She just sold my last flip for me, which we're going to make about $130,000 on in Fox Point, Wisconsin, and she's selling it, and she's been a great partner of ours, but and she's working on another great house, and she's very sophisticated. But Shalonda, before she became a full-time real estate investor, was a full-time car salesperson who was selling Scott cars. That's how I met Shalonda. Okay, sorry about that, Shalonda. Moving on. I'm just proud of you, so that's it. So, Hard Money Code is dedicated, obviously, to empowering real estate investors. We will fund your deals, we will fund your repairs, we will fund your dreams, and we will fund your flips. I'd like to jump into any questions that we have about the application process. Okay? We have any questions? Quiet group today. That's good. Okay, so just a little bit about the Hard Money Code then. We are a short-term lender. We close, we do all of our on-site originating here, right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have our own in-house underwriting, and we look to partner with real estate investors. Right now we're at about 50% of our closings are happening by repeat borrowers that are out there making money and being successful in real estate. Excuse me. We want you to be successful. We want you to be empowered. We want you to be a multimillionaire in real estate. If you start today with nothing, I promise that if you work hard over the next 10 years, you will not be a millionaire, but a multi-millionaire. Yes, sir.
So Aaron asks, is there a property type that you won't do, for example, mixed use, condos, etc.?
Yeah, so we're really good, good question. We're really good at 1 to 4 families. We're really good at fix and flip and buy and holds, right? We do multifamily. Mixed use is always a challenge for almost all lenders. Mixed use with a bar, not interested. Mixed use with potential retail is potentially a deal, but we're really good at 1 to 4 family. We specialize in it. We can underwrite it quickly. You can underwrite it quickly. You can determine if you got a good value on it. You can manage the comp set. You can determine the ARV. Once you get into the commercial setting, it becomes a whole different process. And I just want to remind everybody that there are a lot of people that make a lot of money with mixed use and with multifamily and with condos. We do some condos. You gotta know how to sell it, right? I am gonna be the first time ever a real estate investor buying a mixed use in a questionable neighborhood that I'm gonna add. It's like, okay, next, right? It's so much easier to tell the story of a much better position than the crazy out of the box story. So thanks for the question, Aaron. Regina asked, do we fund in Illinois? And the answer is yes. We fund in Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and Texas. If you have a deal in other markets, we also do deals in Alabama and Arkansas, and we've done them all over. The answer is absolutely. Love to see an application from you, Regina, and hopefully we can help you out. All right, so if you have any other questions that I didn't get to answer, please feel free to email us or follow me on Instagram at HardMoneyScott and drop your question in there. I'll respond. If you were too shy to do so on the chat, do it on Instagram. I will certainly get to you. I just want to thank you all for being here. I did allude to a pending, we do have a couple pending webinars that we will go over. In addition to those, we do also have a live real Burr execution that was done that's finishing up right now that I'd love to share with you the details of, and we're going to get deep into that transaction. So Londi, thank you for supporting that, and Shalonda, thank you for supporting that, and we will talk soon. We got one more question?
Yep, one more from Bill. Do repeat customers get a break on fees?
So repeat customers get a break on down payments, and they can also get a little higher leverage. So we have a singular product on fees that prohibits us from our financing sources of reducing fees, but we do want our borrowers to come to the table with less dollars, and so we do work with them to increase leverage and to reduce down payment all the way down to our most sophisticated can come in with much less than the 20 or 10% required. Do we do pre-approvals? The answer is 1,000%. If you visit us at thehardmoneyco.com, click pre-approval. We're absolutely get you a pre-approval letter. We're happy to get you started, but get started, right? If you're doing nothing this weekend, thank you, Shalonda, go and look at 5 pieces of real estate. Go tour a flip that's been done. Go do something to improve your real estate background, and you too will get the sense that tomorrow you can do it as well. Okay, got some questions. Let's go.
Yep. So from William, my attorney insisted that I get an LLC for every property since I'm renting, not flipping. Is that typical?
My attorney suggests or recommends or requires me to get an LLC for each rental property that I own. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a real estate investor, okay? The answer, William, is that's crazy to me, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I own 85 single-family homes in one LLC. So why would someone tell you that, right? So let's go through the reality of what your lawyer is saying. By doing so, you limit the liability, the limited liability company, the LLC. If it only owns one asset, you're really protected under the one asset, right? So that's fine, but now each entity has its own tax return, it's got its own problems, it's got its own recording nightmares if you do that, and if you own 80 of them, I'm gonna have 80 different companies I'm gonna take checks to and manage them. What craziness. So what is a mitigator against that, right? What are you worried about, right? You're worried about the catastrophe, right? You're worrying about the catastrophe, and the solution behind it is buy a $5 million umbrella from your insurance company, overarching all of your properties. There is no chance, I've been doing this for 20 years, there's no chance that a slip and fall or something happens is gonna eat the $1 million or $2 million you have on the property, plus your $5 million. Never happening. So why would you create all of that extra paperwork and liability for you and management? Oh, this is F Street 123 LLC, this is F Street 1234 LLC. You're gonna drive yourself crazy, William. So I personally do not do that. I manage the single family and duplex homes I own under an LLC, under one LLC, and I put them all under that. I had 80 underneath that LLC. I was fine. You'll be fine too.
We got one from, where'd it go?
Thomas.
Explain the actual loan. Fees, down payment, for fix and flips.
Yep. So the fees are the down payment. The fees I can explain relatively easy, right? We charge a 5% origination fee and 15% interest only, no prepayment penalty. So if you borrow the money for, let's just say it's for 3 months, you're paying 1.25 points for each month plus the 5%, so it gets you about 8% total interest expense. The down payment, if you've already done 3 deals and we can prove them, you pay 10% down. If you're a new investor, you're paying 20% down, okay? There is some limitations on loan to cost where we will never exceed 90% loan to cost. So if you're buying a property for $20,000 and you have to put $80,000 into it, we would not just be able to charge you $2,000 down payment because you're $100,000 of total loan to cost. So you'd actually be putting down $10,000 on that number. But we can go through that nuance with you, Thomas, but that's a great question. Those are the general parameters. If you have a specific deal you want us to go over, let's talk. Okay.
So from Regina, do you accept gap lenders?
So good question, Regina. Do we accept gap funders? We do. We do require, so gap funding is basically a way for investors to limit the amount of money they have to come out of pocket. Okay. We require our investors to have skin in the game. Okay. So we allow for gap funding, but you are, first of all, be transparent. Of the 10 deals we do with gap funders, we have to discover it, and it makes it a completely bloody process. Don't make that the process. If you come to the front of the table with, here's what I'm doing, here's my sources and uses of funds, S and U, right? So I'm going to buy something for $100,000, right? I'm going to get an $80,000 loan. So this is from the Hard Money Co. And then the $20,000, $10,000, let's just say, is coming from Regina, and $10,000 is coming from Gap. Okay, let's just say we can solve that problem. But if you come to us and say, I'm coming with all this money, and then we go to verify the funds and the funds aren't coming from Regina, it gets irritating, right? Our trust and confidence drops to the floor. Sketchy deal, red flags, underwriters go crazy, and the deal doesn't get done. Yep, so we lend based on the ARV, Thomas, and we lend up to 65% of the ARV. If you're buying something that's worth 100, we can lend up to 65%, and that can include up to 100% of repairs. All right, everyone, give me a thumbs up if we enjoyed the content today. I appreciate you all being here. It's been great to spend a little bit of our time with you today. When I started in 2003, really wished I had this opportunity to talk to somebody that was successful, that was in the real estate business, that could help guide me, that could give me some pointers. I didn't have any of those people. It was a lonely road. But now I'm here, and I'm trying to share this back with you guys, so thank you for being here. If you have any other content or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. This time with you is very important to me, and I appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. And once again, my name is Scott Lurie with the Hard Money Co., and you can find me at hardmoneyscott on Instagram. So thanks for being here, and everybody go out and do something today that'll improve your real estate career. Thanks for being here.